Welcome to the deep dive. You're looking to get a solid handle on what's happening in the world of psoriasis treatment, and you want to do it efficiently. We've got a recent market report that lays it all out, and we're going to extract the key insights for you right here, right now. Think of this as your shortcut, to understanding this important and evolving field.
Exactly. We're diving into the Global Psoriasis Treatment Market Report 2025. It forecasts pretty significant growth in this sector, and our goal is really to highlight the most relevant information so you can understand the major trends and, well, the forces behind them.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The report kicks off by projecting the market size for this year, 2025, at a substantial USD 32.457 billion. But here's where it gets really interesting. They foresee this market growing to a whopping USD 71.62439 billion by 2033.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
It is. That's a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 10.40%. Essentially, this market is expected to grow by over 10% every single year for the next 8 years. And the main driver
Right.
seems to be more and more people being diagnosed with psoriasis and other related autoimmune disorders.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is the scope of this report. To get to those projections, they look back at data from 2021 to 2024, to spot the trends. 2024 is the baseline.
Right.
Then 2025 is their estimated current year, and they push the forecast all the way out to 2033. It gives us a really comprehensive long-term view, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And it's not just one big global number, which is helpful. The report breaks things down in a lot of useful ways. It looks at different types of drugs, use things like TNF inhibitors and interleukin inhibitors.
So biologics and others.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And how these treatments are given to patients. Like, is it pills, injections, creams? And also where people are getting these treatments, hospital pharmacies versus, your local drugstore. Plus, they analyze the market based on the specific type of psoriasis and the kind of product, like biologics compared to more traditional meds.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see how detailed this analysis is. They even provide a breakdown by region and individual countries. So if you're particularly interested in, say, North America or Europe or maybe APAC or even specific countries there, this report covers it.
So what does this all mean for understanding this space? It gives us a really clear picture of a significant and expanding area within healthcare. Let's dive into the details, maybe starting with that global overview again. That USD 32.457 billion in 2025, growing at that impressive 10.40% each year to over USD 71 billion by 2033. It really highlights the increasing impact of psoriasis and related conditions, doesn't it?
Yes, and it's important to keep that CGR of 10.40% in mind. Consistent growth at that rate over nearly a decade isn't just like a small blip. It signifies a pretty powerful and sustained upward trend in this market.
Definitely. Now let's zoom in on how things look in different parts of the world, because there are some pretty notable variations. North America, according to this report, currently accounts for the largest chunk of the global market, holding over 40% of the revenue.
Over 40%. Wow.
Their market size in 2025 is estimated at USD 12.000909 billion, and they're projecting a CGR of 8.8% through 2033. So what's driving that strong position and, continued growth?
Well, several factors seem to be contributing in North America. The report points to a relatively high number of people with psoriasis in the region, combined with a growing understanding of the condition and the availability of various treatments. Their well-established healthcare system helps, with diagnosis and care delivery. There's significant use of those advanced biologic medications we mentioned earlier.
All right, the biologics again.
Yeah, think of biologics as complex drugs, often made from living organisms, designed to target very specific parts of the immune system involved in psoriasis.
Right, and that wider use of biologics is likely supported by the considerable R&D investment within North American pharma companies. The report also mentions favorable insurance coverage and government programs helping patients access these sometimes pretty expensive treatments.
True.
It also mentions lifestyle factors and the presence of major pharma companies all playing a role. Plus, tech advancements are contributing too, apparently.
Absolutely. And within North America, the U.S. is, unsurprisingly, the dominant player. A 2025 market size of USD 9.4751 billion, CAGR of 8.6%, largely due to its robust healthcare infrastructure and, again, that broad access to biologics.
Makes sense.
Canada, though, has a slightly higher CAGR at 9.6%, with a 2025 market size of USD 1.44109 billion. They mention a boost from increasing use of telemedicine there.
Oh, interesting. Remote consultations helping access.
Exactly, especially for more rural patients. And Mexico, USD $1.09283 billion market in 2025, 9.3% CAGR, also contributing to the overall North American growth.
Okay. Shifting focus across the Atlantic to Europe, they hold the second largest market share, over 30% of global revenue. Market size, USD 9.41253 billion in 2025, projected CAGR of 9.4%. Pretty similar drivers initially, right?
Yeah.
High prevalence, increasing awareness.
Yes, but Europe also has its own dynamics. The report highlights a significant uptake of biologics there too, along with strong government support for healthcare and reimbursement policies that make treatments more affordable. That's key.
Right, affordability.
And the growing trend towards personalized medicine tailoring treatments to the individual, that's also a factor. And like North America, an aging population and lifestyle triggers contribute to prevalence. Plus, you have major pharma presence, lots of clinical trials. And interestingly, they also mention telemedicine increasing in Europe, similar to Canada.
Looking at specific countries in Europe, the UK stands out. Strong CGR of 10.2%, market size USD 1.58131 billion in 2025, noting increased government support. Germany, slightly larger market at USD 1.86368 billion, 9.6% CGR, also seeing telemedicine advancements. France, Italy, Russia, Spain, all significant markets. CGR is mostly in the mid to high 8% range.
Yeah.
And even smaller markets like Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, Luxembourg, all showing solid CGRs in the 9% range.
Yeah.
Indicates broad growth across the continent.
Yeah, and the rest of Europe combined is still substantial. USD 1.31775 billion in 2025, 8.1% CAGR. It's quite interesting seeing those subtle differences in growth rates, specific regulations, tech adoption like telemedicine, maybe even cultural attitudes.
Well, plays a part.
It really does. Now, let's talk about the region that's really shown, impressive speed. Asia Pacific, or APAC. Currently around 23% of global revenue, USD 7.78968 billion market in 2025. But their projected CGR is a remarkable 13.2%. That's the highest of any region. Yeah, that 13.2% is huge. This rapid growth in APAC seems fueled by a mix of things. The report indicates rising prevalence could be genetics, lifestyle changes, environment. Hard to pin down exactly. But importantly, there's also increasing awareness about psoriasis and, crucially, improving access to dermatologists across the region.
Access is key.
Definitely. And government initiatives strengthening healthcare infrastructure and increasing spending are also significant drivers.
Absolutely. And the use of biologics and newer treatments is picking up speed in APAC too, helped by growing R&D investment within the region.
Yeah.
Plus, medical tourism, especially in places like India, attracts patients seeking advanced treatments. And we can't overlook the growing middle class. More people can afford better healthcare.
If we look closer at specific APAC markets, China leads, size-wise. USD 3.27167 billion in 2025, strong CAGR of 12.7%, driven by that improving infrastructure. But India stands out with the highest national CAGR at 15.1%.
15%, wow.
Yeah, huge potential there. Their 2025 market size is USD 778.97 million. Japan and South Korea also show significant growth, KGRs of 11.7% and 12.3%. South Korea specifically notes increased biologics adoption. Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, all above 12% CAGR. And Southeast Asia collectively has a projected CGR of 14.0%.
14% for the whole region.
Yeah, even the rest of APAC shows a healthy 13.0% CGR. It's clear APAC is going to be a major growth engine.
No doubt about it. Okay, turning our attention to South America. They account for just over 5% of global revenue. 2025 market size, USD 1.23333 billion, projected CAGR of 11.1%. Still pretty strong growth.
Yeah, 11.1% is not bad at all.
Yeah.
The drivers in South America are somewhat similar to APAC, actually. Rising prevalence, maybe genetics, environment stress, increasing awareness, better healthcare access, infrastructure improvements, government programs, rising disposable income help people access advanced treatments, and pharma companies are increasing R&D and clinical trials there too.
Brazil is the largest market in South America. USD 527.88 million in 2025, 11.7% CGR, noting expanding healthcare access. Argentina and Colombia also have significant markets, CGRs over 10%. It's encouraging to see access and awareness improving there.
Definitely. Then we have the Middle East. Smaller share, around 2% globally, 2025 market size. USD 1.29828 billion, but a strong CGR of 11.7%. The report suggests a general increase in autoimmune disorders, plus greater awareness and improved access to dermatological care driving growth. They also mention factors like urbanization, lifestyle changes, maybe higher stress levels, potentially contributing to psoriasis incidence.
And government investment in healthcare, including access to advanced treatments, plus growing medical tourism, are boosting the market there. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are the largest markets, both with CGRs over 12%. It's interesting how lifestyle and investment are interacting there.
Yeah, it is. Finally, let's look at Africa. Currently around 1% of global revenue. 2025 market size. USD 714.05 million. Projected CAGR of 10.7%. Still double-digit growth. The report points to rising prevalence, increasing awareness, and improving healthcare infrastructure as key drivers. Urbanization, lifestyle changes again, plus expanding access to biologics and government initiatives focusing on skincare. South Africa leads in Africa, USD 251.35 million in 2025, 11.6% CAGR. Nigeria also shows good potential with a 10.9% CAGR. While the current share is small, that growth suggests increasing attention and investment across the continent. Right, so that's the regional picture. Now, let's maybe pivot to the different types of treatments making up this market. Starting with drug classes, the report suggests TNF inhibitors are likely to remain a major player.
Right, the established ones.
Exactly. They target tumor necrosis factor, a key inflammation protein. Think Humira and Brel. Their proven effectiveness and often self-injectable nature contribute to their widespread use.
However, the report also points out that interleukin inhibitors are the fastest growing segment.
Mm-hmm.
Interleukins are another type of signaling molecule overactive in psoriasis. Drugs targeting specific interleukins like IL-17 and IL-23 are showing really strong results. These newer treatments are often very precise,
More targeted, yeah.
which can lead to better outcomes, maybe longer remission, potentially fewer side effects compared to older stuff. Their increasing use for moderate to severe psoriasis is really driving growth in that advanced medication part of the market.
Makes sense. Moving on to how these meds are actually given, the oral segment currently holds the largest share. Pills?
Convenience factor.
Yeah, largely convenience. Things like JSA inhibitors, methotrexate. Taking pills provides systemic relief without needing frequent clinic visits. Good for long-term management.
But mirroring the drug classes, parenteral treatments, injections, or infusions, like those biologics, are the fastest growing segment when looking at route of administration.
Right, directly linked to their effectiveness, especially for moderate to severe cases. By targeting specific immune pathways, they offer significant lasting improvement for many.
Okay, and where are patients getting these treatments? Distribution channels. Hospital pharmacies currently account for the largest share.
Which makes sense, right? They handle a wide range of prescriptions, including complex biologics, oral therapies, specialized creams. They often provide personalized plans and have expertise for complex cases.
True. Interestingly, though, retail pharmacies are identified as the segment growing most rapidly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, driven by accessibility, convenience, and maybe increasing demand for over-the-counter stuff for milder forms. Retail pharmacies are expanding their topical offerings and starting to play a bigger role in providing more personalized options too.
Huh. Interesting dynamic there. The report also summarizes the main market drivers, right? We've touched on them, but worth recapping.
Yeah, definitely. Advancements in biologics and targeted treatments are huge. Growing awareness and earlier diagnosis mean more people seeking treatment. And that trend towards personalized medicine, tailoring treatments, improves how well they work.
But there are restraints, too, aren't there? Things holding it back a bit.
Right. High cost is a big one, especially for biologics.
Right.
Limits accessibility, particularly in regions with less developed healthcare or lower incomes. Also, potential side effects that can make patients hesitant to start or stick with treatment sometimes.
Yeah, adherence is always a challenge. Looking ahead, the report mentions key trends. The increasing use of biologics and targeted therapies is really changing the treatment landscape, offering more individualized approaches.
And combination therapies too, right?
Yeah,
Using more than one treatment at once.
exactly. Trying to get even better results, maybe reduce side effects by combining different mechanisms or lower doses.
Finally, let's touch on the competitive landscape. Who are the players? It's described as very competitive, which isn't surprising.
No, not at all.
Major pharma companies investing heavily in R&D, looking for better treatments with fewer drawbacks. We're seeing partnerships, acquisitions, portfolio expansions, the usual strategies. The report also notes emerging players focusing on innovative topicals and oral therapies, which could shake things up.
Yeah, and there were some specific recent developments mentioned. Innovent Biologics had positive phase 3 trial results for their drug, IBI-306, back in October 2024. Showed significant improvement versus placebo, so that could be a new option soon.
Okay.
And UCB launched Bimzelx in October 2023 for moderate to severe psoriasis. Trials showed it was very effective compared to some existing treatments. These just highlight the ongoing innovation, you know?
Absolutely. So as we bring this all together, what are the key takeaways for someone trying to understand this market?
Well, number one, the global market for treating psoriasis is clearly set for substantial growth. No question there. This growth is fueled by increasing prevalence and just continuous progress in developing new and better treatments.
And biologics and targeted therapies are really leading that charge.
Definitely. They're at the forefront, offering more effective and personalized options.
And we're seeing those significant regional differences. Market size varies, but maybe more importantly, the growth rates vary quite a bit. APAC really stands out for rapid expansion.
Yeah, that's a key area to watch. It's also crucial to remember this is a dynamic, constantly evolving market. New discoveries are happening. Companies are competing fiercely to develop treatments that are more effective and more accessible.
Accessibility is a big one.
Huge. The arrival of new players and innovative approaches will keep shaping how psoriasis is managed.
So as we conclude this deep dive, here's maybe a final thought to mull over.
Right.
Given this projected growth and the big emphasis on personalized medicine, what novel strategies or maybe technologies do you anticipate having the biggest impact on psoriasis treatment in the coming years? And, how might these advancements ultimately change the lives of individuals living with this condition worldwide? It's definitely something worth thinking about, considering the ethical and access implications, too, as this field keeps advancing.
Good question to ponder.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.